my name's Dan Laird. I work with Campus Technology Services. I'm a media and design specialist. And one of the things that I'm in charge of on campus is Panopto, which is a video recording service. We have about 70 classrooms on campus that have this type of setup with a webcam that is mounted on the ceiling, and the wires run to the podium computers so that faculty can use it to record their lectures. And I'm going to go through the setup, because there's a few steps you need to do before this, before faculty can access this in the classroom.
Okay.
And after those couple of steps are completed, then I'll show you the program itself and how that works. It's pretty simple. That's why there's only a 20-minute. This is supposed to be a 20-minute lecture because there's not a lot to it. It's pretty easy. So the nice thing about this is, besides the fact that it's good for the students to have the recordings to review later, it's super easy to work on this, because really all you're doing once you record and the class is over, you hit stop and it automatically publishes it online, and then after, the video has to be processed a little bit, so it takes about, for an hour lecture, it takes about 10 to 15 minutes of processing, and then the link will show up in the Blackboard course of instructor. So it's, before this, you would have to manually make a video, somehow upload it, and then make sure it's available for all students. So it does a few of the steps automatically, so it makes things easier for faculty to manage. So the first thing you need to do is go into Blackboard and find the course that you would like to recordings for. I'm going to use this test one under my account. Normally, we used to have to teach faculty how to do this manually, but now each course has a link that says class recordings.
Okay.
So that's already set up. So that takes care of a few steps that used to be done. I don't have a course that doesn't have this set up, so it's not going to look like this. So,
okay.
So pretend this part isn't there, but this is going to be, there's going to be there, it should say Panopto is not set up for this course. Would you like to set it up? And you click, it should say configure, and then it'll automatically create a folder on Panopto server.
Mm-hmm.
And that, what that does, it gives permission to the instructor to get into Panopto and create recordings. And it also looks at the class roster, and it gives all the students that are registered for this course access to view. So it sets up all the permissions and everything automatically, so that they're able to see everything that's posted in here. So
okay.
It's fairly simple. Once you do that, then you will see this part.
Okay.
And it'll be empty because you don't have any recordings you just started. They'll start showing up in here. Let's see if I can show you what it looks like when they are videos.
Oh, okay.
So every time a video is done and it gets processed, the link will show up here for them to click on and watch. And I'll show you that briefly at the end, like what it looks like when they look at it. So after you set it up in Blackboard, you're ready to use it in the classroom. So every classroom will have Panopto on the desktop.
Okay.
Not every classroom has this available.
Right.
There's quite a few, but there's still, you know, some that don't.
You can only use it with the ones that have this, right?
Well, there's a couple of caveats to that. In some of the lecture halls, some of them don't have video cameras in them, but the lapel mics that are at the podium are hooked into the computer. So once you put on the mic and turn it on, It'll record audio and your screen. It just won't record you in the front of it.
Okay.
So, which most people care about. A lot of people
Yeah.
don't want to be recorded anyway, but
Right.
audio is the audio of the instructor talking and usually what they're talking about on their screen, like PowerPoint or videos or whatever they're presenting, is obviously the most important part.
Right.
So there's most of the rooms in Lanigan, those lecture halls, all have audio only, except for 2. And then there's a lecture hall in Park that does have video, actually. But regardless, if it's in a lecture hall, they need to use the lapel mic, or there's no audio.
I'm listening. I'm just writing.
No, it's fine. So you will only get a recording of what's on the screen, and there won't be any audio discussion of it, so that's pretty much useless. So
Yeah.
they need to make sure that I know some people don't like using the mic because they don't need it and they can talk loud enough, but if they don't, obviously it won't be recorded. So
Right.
so. But if you wanted to see which rooms have a bit of it,
Okay. Yeah.
let's see. Go to the CTS webpage, which is just swinger.edu/CTS. And at the top, there's the first link in our menu bar is ATCs. It stands for Advanced Technology Classrooms. And if there's a specific building, like say you have a class in Mahar, and you want to see what rooms have, go under equipment and look for that. You don't need to, well, if you're looking for one that just has the camera, or it has a camera, you can do this. This will grab the lecture halls. So.
So it only is in lecture halls? Or, well, this is
The lecture halls are the ones that are audio only.
Okay.
So all the other rooms have the webcam. So.
Okay. And then that would be under ATCs, right?
Yep. So yeah, you click on
ATCs, and then you choose the building, and then
make sure that you get the lecture capture camera.
lecture capture camera.
Yeah. So that will bring up every room that has that available.
Awesome.
Yeah. So if you have an idea of like where they'd like to teach, or like before registration begins, before the class and they can choose, if they had the opportunity to choose which room to be in, then that would be helpful.
Okay.
So.
Yeah, that is.
Yeah. If for some reason that we aren't able to get a room that has it available, we do have the opportunity to give them a webcam that they can plug in at the podium. It does mean they have to bring it with them to class every time.
Okay.
So I mean, it's an inconvenience, a minor inconvenience, but they can still plug it in.
Right. Sorry to ask all the
Oh,
questions.
no.
Would this be good for like meetings for people who can't join or
Yes.
anything? That is like a big one for us.
Yes, definitely.
So that in turn, like if we don't have a room that has one of these, or we can't get like one of those lecture halls, we can bring a webcam.
Yep. If there's a computer in whatever conference room you're going to be in, you need to make sure that Panopto is installed.
Okay.
And have a webcam that you can connect to it.
Which would be the so to make sure, like if I was going on here to see which rooms we wanted to have the meeting in, would I still click lecture capture camera to see if that's how Panopto's installed in that room?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
Just making sure.
Well, what rooms do you normally use? Does it vary widely?
Yeah.
Okay. I was going to say, if you're doing it in conference room, it might not always be available.
Right. Well,
Okay.
she would probably want to choose one where we don't always use one's available with the technology that she needs.
Okay. Nice.
And so that's how you would find it, is through lecture capture camera.
Yep.
Okay.
the majority of those are in, I don't know what department are you in?
The transfer services,
Okay,
over in, Morano, yeah.
okay. Quite a few of those classrooms are outfitted. All the ones, most of the ones on the second floor are not in the public. No way.
She likes to use a lot. She likes to use, what her favorite building is.
Every room in Shipman has it, pretty
Okay.
much. So,
Alright, and she also likes a lot of the bigger rooms that are in Morano,
okay,
but she uses everywhere.
yeah,
We just use from classrooms 5 and 6 over in Lakeside,
oh,
so yeah,
okay. Yeah, that one.
probably not.
No,
Yeah.
no, not those.
Nobody even knew that one existed.
Yeah.
Like, we were like,
Yeah, so, but Shipman and Morano, those are heavily,
okay,
I mean, you throw around, you're gonna hit one.
yeah.
Find it. So to start it, you open the, go to the link on the desktop. So if this is going to be for a department, normally these get published, and we can talk about this after because it's kind of
Okay, yeah, you're fine.
we're
Yeah,
getting away.
you're fine, yeah.
But normally what happens, these will get posted to the Blackboard account, but if it's something that a department would like to utilize, then we can give your department an account outside of Blackboard that's a Panopto account, and then you can just have access to the folder and watch the videos without having to use Blackboard.
Okay.
So I can go over that with you.
Yeah.
So you open this, and normally what you would do, if you have an account, you're going to be this. But most people that will be.
Yeah,
Hi.
come on in.
Oh, I'm sorry.
That's okay.
So my former boss has requested a meeting with me on Friday to do my.
So you were just saying you would go to Panopto. I'm sorry. I heard that.
That's So normally faculty, when they're using this, would go into the sort of Blackboard option and then just use their account that they use with email, pretty much everything else in the network. But for you, you would probably set up something below.
A username and password.
Yeah, that's a Panopto account within the Panopto system. So I would probably do that for you.
Okay.
So we can go over that after. But for this, again. So this is how it looks like. When there's a camera set up, you'll get a preview of the feed. It should automatically grab the microphone that's in the camera. So that's where your audio will come from, and you see the levels there.
Yes.
You always want to make sure that you can see those so you know that it's working, because, like I said, audio is probably the most important part of this.
Yeah, I see it going up as you're talking.
Yeah. So, and that depends on where it is in the room. And this, you probably aren't going to need to mess around with it. But if for some reason the microphone isn't next to where you guys are talking, you can mess with the levels here. Let's go up and down. If you'd like the signal to be stronger, or if you're like right under it and you have someone that's louder than normal, you might want to consider taking it and looking it down a little.
Okay.
So, because if it starts getting into the red, that means your recording's gonna be like,
Yeah. There's so many problems.
yeah, a little bit. So, do you plan on using a document camera at all? Like they have in the classrooms, they have one of those. I can't remember. They were Elmos, and then Both visions.
What does that do?
Like people will put papers under it so they can show them up on the screen.
Pretty much everybody that she has like present at a meeting is doing it how she has them.
PowerPoint? Okay, well then you probably won't have to worry about it.
Right.
But for anybody that is watching or watches this video later,
Mm-hmm.
if they would like to use that, there's an add another video source, and in here, if there is a document camera up on the podium, there'll be an option to add it to this, so it'll add another video feed that's being recorded. Because all a document camera is one of those, like a camera, just mounted on a tripod and pointing down, so people can put papers on, like using that as an overhead projector of old. So if people want to use that, that's where that is. You can name these what you want. By default, it puts in the timestamp, but if this is, department meeting, you can put whatever you want there. If for some reason you would like to broadcast this online, there's an option to webcast it. The one disadvantage of doing this from here is that you don't have a link to share.
Right.
You only get a link once you hit record, and it'll put one right here. So it says start recording to get a link.
Okay.
So that's something like if you had someone remote that wanted to watch, and you could, shoot them an email with that.
Okay.
It's fairly easy.
Okay.
The disadvantage of doing that is they can't easily talk back with you. If they're logged into Panopto, if they have an account, they can see this as discussion
Okay.
from viewers. But they have to have an account set up, so
Right.
it's not the easiest thing. So it's not meant for like web conferencing, but you can kind of sort of use it. So those are pretty much the basic settings on here. You don't need to mess around with resolution or anything. Just leave that as it is. So you hit record. So starts recording, and what most people do is they'll minimize the Panopto window, and then they'll open their presentation, or they'll start open another window and go talk about what they're going to talk about. And when they're done, you go back in here and stop. You can pause it, like say you want to talk about something that you don't want recorded, whatever. You can pause it. It still records, but it will black out that portion that you paused. There's a way to go in and unblack it out. If, like, you say you hit pause and you forgot to unpause it.
Mhm.
You're like, oh shoot, like I wanted that to be in there. You
Right.
can fix that. So you hit stop, and it says this is done. You can enter another description if you want. I'm just going to hit upload. So there's a progress bar that'll go really fast because that was a short video. And it goes away, and it will say there's a status over here that once it uploads it, it says processing now.
Okay.
So that's doing all the video rendering and stuff up on the server. And once it's done, it'll become a link and get posted to that folder. So that's,
Automatically get posted.
yep, it takes care of everything from here.
So you were saying when just okay, if I go back.
Yeah, no, that's fine.
When you webcast, you can't like communicate with the person, but they can leave comments, correct?
If they have an account, they can.
Only if they have.
Yeah, if they have to log in, and it's not incredibly easy to do.
Right.
It can be done. It just, they have to have an account in Panopto.
A lot of people would be not even probably from here, so.
Like with students, like when the course gets set up, they all automatically get access. But with probably faculty, if you have a faculty meeting and 3/4 of them don't use Panopto, those people won't be able to log in and comment.
I gotcha.
So it's easy for students, not so much for other things. So that's why I said it's not like it's not the best. It's definitely not your best option for a web conference, but in a pinch, like if they just want to watch it,
Yeah.
I mean, you could have them on the phone or
Right.
Google Chat or whatever. So.
Because they can watch it live, right?
They are watching it live, but there is like a 10 to 15-second delay.
Okay, and then,
So
then having them on the phone, that's nice, because they can see the whole PowerPoint and everything else. And once you minimize the Panopto, then you open like
your PowerPoint.
PowerPoint, I can't say today. They automatically see that. Okay, rather than you.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah, you can, the people that are watching can minimize or maximize different parts of it. So let me show you what it looks like.
Okay.
That'll help you. Let's see what it looks like. So in here they have the option to so you see if you mouse over this, like if they just want to watch the presenter, they can make this the biggest part of the screen.
Okay.
Or if they just want the presentation, that will maximize, so that's all they get to see. So that's how they could do that. And these are what the recordings look like. Not that it's utilized too often, but there's also a discussion portion if people want to put in their own notes. You can also put in bookmarks at different parts of the presentation. So, and if you're in a hurry or if there's someone that talks slow, you can change the speed of the video.
Okay. Well, that's kind of cool.
Yeah.
So, is it okay if I ask questions?
Yeah, no, that's pretty much that's it. So actually, unless someone else that's watching has questions. And I muted their mic, but they're free to unmute it if they'd like to ask anything. Once, twice. Oh, hang on, there is a chat. How long is the recording available? I don't know if you're talking about this recording or Panopto recordings. I'm going to assume you mean the Panopto recordings. We have no current retention policy. Like we've kept everything since we've started using this in 2012. So we're not charged for the space that's available. So we just hung on to pretty much everything. So normally at the end of a semester, I will shut off access to the prior semester for faculty just so they don't have multiple courses to choose. There's some confusion, like if you teach the same course in one semester and then you teach it the next semester and there's two options for, okay, good, I'm talking about the right thing. If there's an option for the same course in a different semester, sometimes people will choose last semesters and the current students won't be able to see it. So we keep all the videos, long story short, and if you want access to them ongoing, I can arrange that for you. So we do not get rid of them, but you are welcome to, you can move them around, delete them, whatever you want, because they're yours. No problem. Okay. So your questions. Your name again?
Christina.
Christina. Okay.
I forgot.
You're gonna ask about the accounts?
Yes, okay, so anybody that views your site has to have a Panopto account.
Yes.
If they're viewing it live. Like
Yes.
with the 15 sentences, okay.
Yes. So.
Is there any way to give somebody a temporary account? Or could you give them that, it would be pointless to get
I could set up a temp account for your department
Okay,
that, you can
Somebody-
give to whoever
Okay.
wanted to use it. And that way you could be like, so-and-so is gonna log in. So normally I'll set up, let's see. So the website that you would have to go to. Okay, so since you probably are going to be using this Blackboard, this is the website that we have with Panopto. So you go sign in, and you will have a Panopto account. So your username will be whatever email address that we're assigning this to. So,
okay.
Do you have a department address?
What?
Do you have a department email address?
Yes,
Okay.
I do.
Oh,
Okay.
that's what we'll use,
Okay.
just to make it easy. So I mean, if you're not around or someone else wants to use it, it's not tied to a person.
Okay.
So just makes it easy.
Yeah.
So you'll log in and you'll be able to see the videos. That'll be the first thing you see is the videos under you.
Okay.
This is an admin account, so I have access
Yep.
to all of them, so they're all here. So in here, there's a create button.
Uh-huh.
You can create webcasts. In this way, you can set it up and hit create, and it'll give you a link that you can send out, like, 2 weeks from now, you're gonna have a meeting that you want a webcast.
Okay.
You can send it to the department and say, hey, we're having a meeting at Thursday at 1. Here's a link if you'd like to join in, if you can't make it. So that's an easier, that way, that's the preferred way of setting up a webcast.
Yeah.
So that's,
And then we can give them this link and that, then they can just click on it and watch it on that day.
Yep.
Okay.
yeah, again, this is what it looks like. These are the links. It's just kind of the same view that's in Blackboard. So in here you can go and you can change stuff. I don't know if you'll have any need for this. You can change titles.
Okay.
You can share it. Say if there's someone that wasn't there and couldn't watch but would like to see it,
Uh-huh.
you can put in their email address here and it'll send them an email with a link.
Oh, okay. That's nice.
Yeah. So, or if there's, I don't know, for whatever reason, something you'd like to post to a page somewhere, you can do that too. There's embed.
So is it only when it comes to doing it on Blackboard is when you click on the link for Panopto and then you sign in, or is that what we would always do? And then this web address up there, the host is Panopto.com, that's what they would use?
If you're just using this for your department, you would be completely not using Blackboard.
You're right. We
Yeah.
would just use the link on the screen.
Yep.
Okay.
So yeah, that's Oswego.hosted. And yeah, I can give you a card.
Yeah.
And then you can email me the address you want set up, and I'll set up the account under that.
Okay. Because that would be, so that